Hi everyone, welcome to the Grand Mosque here in Oman. I'm here in Oman to deliver a keynote last evening to business leaders from across the country. And what I talked about was an idea that I discussed in my TEDx talk, The Game Has No Winners, and I'll put a link down to that below. I talked about the importance of adding value. The idea that we don't treat jobs and money as goals in and of themselves, but rather jobs, money, prestige, respect, a lot of the things we're taught to treat as the goals to chase in our lives are actually the natural byproducts that come to people who develop a capacity for adding tremendous value. So the goal as leaders isn't to move up the ladder, it's not to be impressive, it's not to look good on paper. The goal is everything we do has to make us more capable of adding value to other people. And I love giving that perspective. I actually developed it to speak to business students. But what I found is every time I deliver that, somebody comes up and says, I like the idea, but doesn't it seem a little bit naive? Like, I've tried to add value to other people, but I find that people just step on me or they treat me like a pushover, they take advantage of me. And I just want to be clear, that's going to happen. Like, if you find a way to add value to the lives of 10 people, 3 of them are going to take advantage of it, and 2 are not going to care. But I think 5 of them, whether they pay it back right away or down the road somehow it comes back to you, 5 of them are going to look out for a way to add value back to you. And that means if you commit to adding value to 100 people, now you've created 50 allies out there in the world who in some way want to support you. And that's why I think that the key is to be committed to the idea of putting value out into the world, because you're going to do it a bunch of times with no noticeable results before you sort of build the critical mass where it's going to start coming back and impacting you positively. It's like building a business. You sink a lot of upfront costs in before you can start reaping the profits and the benefits down the road. And so I think it's like if you go out and you do 2 sit-ups and you say, well, I don't have a six-pack yet, honestly, you're gonna have to do thousands before you see any results at all. But once you do, it really starts to build in a big time momentum. So the idea of adding value, I know it seems naive, I know it seems odd in a world that's all about competition, but I honestly believe it's a numbers game. If you create 50 allies out there who one day want to support you, and then you stay committed to that idea of adding value, and now you've got 100 allies, 150 allies, those, I think, eventually is going to create a life where the value is inevitably going to come back to you, and it's going to come back to you multiplied. But what it does, it takes commitment. I read somewhere that when you're exercising, you don't see results for 4 weeks, your best friends don't see them for 6, and the world doesn't see them for 8. So you got to make sure that you stick with it. And I think the commitment to adding value is the same way. Thanks, everybody. Can't wait till the next video blog.